All right. Good evening, YouTube and the whole wide world. Welcome to Fireside Friday, episode 1. My name is PJ, and welcome to my new weekly live stream. For those of you who don't know, my name is PJ and I am 22 years old. I live in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and there's a lot, or not a lot, but one interesting fact for you guys to know is that I have a disability known as CP. So my YouTube channel is about living life through the lens of someone who has a disability, whether it's through going to school or going to work or just everyday living. So for my returning subscribers, all 14 of you, yes, I do have 14 subscribers now. So about a week ago, I asked you guys, I put it out on Facebook and on my YouTube discussion screen that I was looking to do more live streams. Now that I've figured out how those work. And so I asked you guys what you guys thought about when I should do them. And sorry, my mind just went blank. That's live YouTube for you. What I should, when I should do them, and connected to when I should do them, what the name should be. A couple of you said Fridays, so Fridays it is. And as you can tell by the title of the live stream, I chose Fireside Fridays as the name for the live stream. So let me explain to you why I chose that. No, nobody threw that out there. That was something I came up with on my own. And I came up with it thinking back to a disabled historical figure. And that was FDR. During World War II and the few months preceding it, I believe, basically throughout his entire presidency, he did weekly radio addresses that he called his fireside chats. So, in honor of that, I'm going to call my live streams, which will hopefully always be done on Fridays, Fireside Fridays. So the premise of Fireside Fridays is just to basically um hang out with you guys. If any of you ever watch these things, ask questions. You can ask questions and I will answer them. Um, and all that fun stuff. So, um, and there's no telling how long they'll last. So, if any of you want to hop on here, go right ahead. I'm going to throw it up on a couple of my other social media um, platforms. So if anybody else, and I also want to test the comment, uh, posting a comment from YouTube because I'm using Google Hangouts. So let me see if that will work for me right quick. Da, 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 da. Oh, uh, let's do it this way and just share here and yeah, sorry. My phone is not cooperating. Okay, and posted on Facebook. Now let's show Instagram. Oh, and if you're a new subscriber, like and subscribe. Or if you're watching one of my videos for the very first time, let's back it up. Why don't you become a subscriber? Hit the subscribe button, and you will be notified when I do live streams or other videos um, for YouTube. So let's swipe over here. Get rid of that for a second. Hit that, and we are now live. Or we are live on Instagram. Okay, we are now live on Instagram and YouTube. So, hi Instagram. So, if you're watching on Instagram, hop over to YouTube and go to PJ Crouch YouTube, and this should be the first thing that pops up. Or you can just type in my name and you'll see that title Fireside Friday 001. So, yeah, Instagram. Let's hop over to YouTube. Okay, so, oh, my phone ring. Hello? Hey, nope, yes, nope, Yes. Okay. Alright. Night. Alright. Sorry about that, guys. That was my grandfather checking on me because I am by myself this evening. My sister is out doing things, and my mom is at work tonight. So, yeah, let me uh, do one more quick thing, and you guys will have my undivided attention. So, if I have anybody hopping on live or hopping on during a playback, leave questions, comments, that sort of thing, and I may cover them in future Fireside Fridays or in specific videos. Okay. Oh, I have a view. Huge, who's viewing me? Type your name in the comment section, and I will put a comment in there so you can see where it is. Okay. Yeah. Somebody commented on a Facebook link. Alright, so I guess that means my friend Tiffany. Oh, I guess that means my friend Tiffany Blumenberg is watching, and I just jumped to 3 views on YouTube. So if you guys want, um, put it in the comment section, and I will give you guys a shout out on the live stream. And just so you guys know, this is 3 times as many as I had last week. So we're breaking records tonight. So of those 3 viewers, is there any 4 viewers? Oh boy, now we're rolling. So, of my 4 viewers, is there anything you guys want me to cover? Any questions? 6 viewers. Oh, we're back down to 5. 6 left. That's okay. We're having fun now. So, any questions, comments, things that you want me to cover? We're back down to 3 viewers, but that is okay. I'm gonna hop back on here right quick just to see if if there are any comments that aren't showing up on Google Hangouts, because it is a little bit older technology wise, so that may not show up when they're translating from YouTube. So let's see. No. Do I even have comments enabled on here? Oh, I'm back up to 5. Cool. So, I'll echo this one. I'll echo this again. Why don't you guys pop something in the comments just to say hello? Ooh, my phone. Ooh, my phone volume went crazy. So, one thing I will cover tonight, because I get this question a lot. I mentioned in a couple videos that I work in several different arenas. So obviously, if you watched any of my other videos, you guys know I'm in college. In fact, I know a couple of my college classmates at who are in my are not classmates from school, but classmates in our college Sunday school group at my church are watching. So thanks for watching, guys. But as far as what I do besides being a distance learning student for through Moody Bible Institute up in Chicago, I work 2 jobs that are volunteer based. One is I'm a volunteer assistant slash security guy at my sister's homeschool co-op group that she goes to, called Veritas Classical. They meet at my church, so when they were asking for, they always ask for parents to come and volunteer. So I threw my name in that ring, so to speak. Not really expecting it to be a weekly thing, but it's turned into that. because we're a really big uh, campus as far as church size, and we're there during the normal work week for the church. So I'm there to help make sure kids stay quiet in the hallways. I'm there to open doors. Um, I'm there to watch classrooms for teachers if they need to go do something. I basically am a jack of all trades when it comes to that arena. So I do that two, 2 days a week, on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I worked there yesterday, and it was pretty exhausting because we had our um, Thanksgiving program feast, whatever you want to call it. We had worship service, and then we had pie. So I was helping set up for that yesterday. Um, but my other job, and one is one that I hold really special to my heart. Um, and that is I'm a special needs ministry intern for a local nonprofit called Lifeline Incorporated. What we do is we help families navigate the special ed system for the public and private schools in our area of East Tennessee and Northwest Georgia. Um, so whether that's helping families um, maintain services they already have through helping them gather documentation, or doing the same thing for them, their initial um, initially receiving services. We will sit down and talk to them and help them basically translate what the school needs into plain English, because understanding the academic um, language that schools use can be kind of difficult. We also do trainings for teachers and um, staff of schools for specific disabilities like mine. Um, as far as this is what you expect, or this is what you'll see, this is what's commonly known, but this can also happen, stuff like that. Um, and then we also train churches and do the same thing for churches as far as doing workshops um, to help them maintain or get a little bit more about disabilities under their belt. So if they have um, a disability ministry, or they want to start a disability ministry, um, we will help them with that. Tomorrow is actually a really big day for me on a personal level as far as that goes, because we also do um, community wide events, and one of those events is tomorrow. Um, it's our local autism walk here in Chattanooga. And 4 years ago, I worked my first event. So my November, yeah, it's 4 years ago exactly tomorrow. Um, 4 years ago on November, I guess it was the 18th back then, or whenever it was. But 4 years ago tomorrow, I worked my first event with the nonprofit. So um, tomorrow is a big day for me because I knew I wanted to do something like this back when I was still in elementary school. So being able to say that I've been doing this steadily for 4 years is really special to me and really exciting because it's a visual milestone as to what God's done in my life and what He's brought me through because I've gone through some dark, trying stuff in these last 4 years, and even before that, and me starting to work for this organization really kind of helped me out of some of that stuff that happened before I even moved to Chattanooga with my family. So, actually, I think, no, never mind. Thought I was gonna be able to do something, but I'm not gonna be able to do that, and that's fine because that is just how life works. Um, so let's see. Okay. So, and one other thing I want to mention for those of you watching is while you're watching this, you can share the live stream if you think you have friends or have friends of friends who would like watching something like this, and tell them to subscribe and watch my other videos. I was looking a while ago, and I've been doing YouTube videos for about a year, and I have 22 videos up about different things. So if you're interested, go enjoy those. And like and share and all that normal stuff that you other YouTube creators uh, tell you to do. So let's see, what else can we talk about? Who's ready for Thanksgiving next week? I know I am. I'm ready to eat because anybody who knows me knows I um love to eat and eat just about anything I can get my hands on. Here, let's let's see. Mm, okay. So, yeah, up to, I've got viewers, so that's not important, but I like having viewers. So, whoever is watching, thank you. Let's go see if I got any more comments on the Facebook link I put up. No. So, but that's okay. Tiffany, if you're still watching, tell Cooper and Noah that they have now just been mentioned on a YouTube video. Knowing those two, they will probably like that. So, but yeah, so Fireside Friday number 1 is going extremely well, better than I thought it would. So, let me no. Sorry, I'm still trying to learn Google Hangouts because, as you guys know, uh, you never stop learning. You learn on the fly. There we go. I was trying to get the icons off the screen. That way, I didn't see a big bar in my forehead. So, anybody have anything they want me to talk about? I always leave it in the like my post on Instagram. Huh. Big, Victoria. Okay. Are you watching Victoria? So I've got one constant viewer. So that's, but I still don't know who that is. But as I said, that's okay. So, ah, trying to think about what to talk about next. Here's a question since we started holidays, talking about holidays and stuff. Which is your favorite? Let's go with the big three, which are getting ready to come up. Out of Thanksgiving, Christmas, or New Year's, which is your favorite and why? Personally, I like Christmas. I I like all three of them. For various reasons, but Thanksgiving obviously is the food and the time with family and the Macy's parade is also a good reason to like Thanksgiving. But Christmas, I love Christmas because it isn't about the presents or anything like that. It's about Christ. Um, it's the one day or not the one day, because obviously we should remember what God's Son did for us all the time, but Christmas is his birthday, just like my birthday is May the 4th. Christmas is Christ's birthday. So um, it's a big reminder of what he did for us, because he didn't have to come down and live and work, because yes, Jesus worked, um, and die for me. But he did. And without him doing that, I probably wouldn't be sitting in front of my computer staring at a um, bright light um, to tell me the camera's on, talking to you guys. So, um, so let's see. What have I covered? Thanksgiving, food, family, and Macy's parade. Um, and on a side note, that's not really on Thanksgiving, but anybody who knows me, knows I'm a huge college football fan, and um, a huge Alabama fan specifically. And Thanksgiving weekend is always Iron Bowl weekend, which is our big rivalry game between us and the University of Auburn. So that's usually on the Saturday after Thanksgiving. So Thanksgiving is the one. Thanksgiving is uh, who is that? It's talking. I'm getting Um, I'm getting comment over Facebook Messenger because of some technical issues. Sorry about that, Jonathan. Don't know if that's on your end or my end, but good adaptation by sending the comments on uh, Messenger. Okay. Jonathan says, by the way, my favorite holiday is Thanksgiving because it's an amazing chance to be thankful for everything God has blessed me with. And I'm not knocking Christmas, but I feel it's easy to get distracted with all the presents. Thanksgiving is a time I can say that my life is not perfect, but thank you, God, because He has blessed me in more ways than I can count. Yeah, J Dubs, that is a excellent reason to um, love Thanksgiving, and I totally agree with why you say for you, Thanksgiving is uh, in a way easier than Christmas, because you're right, Christmas can get a little distracting with everything else that goes on, uh, like the presents, like you said in your message, or the lights, or all the, in some areas of the country or the world, the snow. Um, I used to live in Chicago. For any of you who don't know, um, so snow on Christmas was a pretty uh, dead set thing. It may not have physically snowed on Christmas, but I can't remember a Christmas that we didn't have snow. Um, but on to why I like New Year's. Um, it's kind of the same side note reason I like Thanksgiving, especially the last 4 years during the college football playoff because the semifinals are on New Year's Eve. So a lot of the bowl games are on. Uh, Obviously, the semifinals are on. So we'll find out next week or in 2 weeks who are set for those. So, and then also every year, I'm also a huge hockey fan. Go Chicago Blackhawks. Um, Also, they have the outdoor hockey game um, on New Year's Day, and the Rose Parade um, is on New Year's Day as well. So that's all that those are my favorite those are my reasons why I like the holidays that are getting ready to happen. So yeah, um, um trying to think. Jonathan, what do you want me to talk about? Send me a message on Facebook. So, oh, I guess I could talk about some something that a bunch of people are talking about this weekend. Um, and that is the fact that Justice League came out, and I posted on Instagram today a picture of me wearing this shirt in honor of Justice League. I'm more of a Marvel guy, but DC has um, some good movies and has recently come out with some good movies. And I'll tell people what I tell them. Tell people. Oh, I can't talk tonight. Sorry. Um. So here's what I tell people when they ask me which one I like better, Marvel or DC. Marvel has great movies and great TV shows. DC's movies have always been good, and their movies are getting better. The Batman movies with Christian Bale were always good. Um, their TV shows are awesome though because I love The Flash, I love Arrow, um, and all that stuff. But their movies are getting better, and I can't wait to go see Justice League maybe over the holidays this week because I still have school, but I don't have to work or anything like that besides tomorrow. So, my mom and I may try to go this week, and go um, see Justice League or maybe Thor. We haven't really decided how we were gonna work that out yet. So, let's see. I do have a message. Jonathan says he's gonna go with Marvel on this. It's what I grew up watching. I cannot deny that the Arrowverse is amazing though. What's your favorite superhero overall? Okay, Jonathan, you're gonna almost kick yourself when I tell you this because there's a hint on the back of my wheelchair. Can you figure it out? So for those but obviously you guys won't be able to see his comment oh, he's typing, so I will tell you guys. You got it right. He said Captain America. So Captain America is my favorite superhero, and let me tell you why. Because I see a lot of what I try to tell um, the families of disabled kids or disabled kids in general in Captain America. Because, yeah, he went through the super soldier program and went into the Genesis chamber and all that stuff, but he has no powers. It's just him and a shield and his head. He has to think about what he does. So that's why I like Cap. And as to that hint I gave to Jonathan, let me see if it will work. Yep, it's working. I have something on the back of my chair. If it will finish coming off nicely, that um a bunch of you will see. Yeah. Um, let me back up so it's in the full camera frame. But my backpack is actually Cap Shield. So, and this is just not for it. This isn't just for style points. Anybody who um has a wheelchair knows that finding backpacks to go on your wheelchair is hard because the normal school backpacks usually are too big in the bottom. So they rub your wheels and all that stuff, which makes it hard to push. This one is obviously round, so it doesn't rub. And yes, ah, there we go. That's a better view. There is actually a strap back in the back that is a normal shield strap. So if I want to get it off and play with it, I can. Because yes, I am 22, but occasionally I still play with toys. And I'm not ashamed to say it. I'm a Disney and a Star Wars nut. So, given the fact that my birthday is on May 4th, um, that should be no surprise to each other. So, or to anybody, to each other. What am I even talking about? Jonathan, what do you think about the comics? A while. Here's another Captain America question from Jonathan, and it's a question that a bunch of people have been asking, or not asking me, but I've seen this question in a bunch of places. Um, what do you think about the comics? A while back that showed Captain as a member of Hydra. Hmm. I honestly, um, that one's a tough one for me because I don't read the. I'll pick up a comic book like if I'm in a comic book store, but um, having CP, my hands are not always the gentlest um with books, so I cannot tell you how many Bibles I went through as a kid. That's why you see me most of the time with this thing as my Bible on Sunday because I can't rip pages. But back to the question, Cap as a member of Hydra. If that actually turns out to be the way they want to go, I'm gonna be really upset because Cap as a double agent, that doesn't sit well with me. So, yeah, that one was that when that came out, that kind of blew me away. But I'm glad they're not bringing it into the movies, at least anytime soon, because that would just mess everything up. So, anything else? It's buzzing. I'm buzzing again, and my messenger bubble is up. So, uh, yeah, I saw the backlash. All right, let me read what Jonathan said. I don't read comics, but I saw the backlash from it. Personally, I didn't like it. I felt it was a complete reversal of character for the sole purpose of a shock factor. Yep, that would probably be a good assumption just because. Oh, what is. Uh, yeah. That was probably a good assumption just because it's a way to get people to buy the comics just to see if what they're saying is actually true. So, what else? I know you're in nursing school, so any questions I can answer for you. Listen to me. I may be from Tennessee and may have lived in Mississippi, but uh, I'm not so southern that I speak like that all the time. So, to my original question, are there any disability related questions I can answer? Oh, he's typing. What is he typing? And Jonathan, don't be afraid to ask the tough ones either. Anything you can throw at me, and I'll venture to answer. And if I don't know the answer, I will find out and tell them to tell you what I found out at a later date. This has been fun. Hmm. Oh, it's the Alabama basketball score. I'll check that later. So, for anybody else who wants to ask questions, who may not be watching during the live stream, but find it later and watch it on like a playback or whatever. Leave your questions or comments for superheroes for holidays in the comment section. And I will. Okay, something from Jonathan, or J Dubs, or Witch Doctor, depending on who you ask. He says, I don't have any specific questions, but if you could share your testimony about how this has affected your life and how this affects how you want to live your life, I would love to hear it. Okay, get the popcorn. So, okay, let's go. So, what generally everybody thinks, what everybody sees when it comes to disability is the spinal cord injuries from wrecks or getting hit by cars or falling off of buildings or diving accidents like we see all the time. CP is not like that. Or what they see a lot of now is the battlefield injuries that our wounded warriors are coming home with. So, um, blindness, missing limbs, again, being paralyzed from various points of their body. CP is not like that. Um, it can be brought. You can get it later in life, but I got it when I was born. Um, and what basically happened was I was 6 weeks early. So, and by the way, today is premature baby day. So, to all my fellow preemies, happy preemie day. I didn't actually know that was a thing until today. So, that one's on me. But now I do, and now I will make sure that's in the forefront of my mind on the 17th of November every year. Um, but back to the original train of thought, I was 6 weeks early. Um, I'm a military brat, so we were living, or my mom and dad were living uh, in Oakland at the time. My dad was stationed out there. Um, so, but the Navy base in Oakland didn't have the facilities um, for um, birth and stuff like that. And they knew that going into me coming into the world. So they already knew that they were going to have to drive into San Francisco. Um, so I show up 6 weeks before they expected me to. My mom has even told me that she had her first contraction uh, on the Golden Gate Bridge. Um, so that's kind of funny. Everybody wishes they had a Golden Gate Bridge story, um, but I actually have one. So I was 6 weeks early, and you being a nursing student, you probably know that not all the uh, systems in your body are going to be completely formed a month out, mainly your lungs. So I had no oxygen to the brain for, I don't think my mom has actually told me um, how long it was. I should probably ask her that question because um, of course, lack of oxygen for different periods of time can do different things. Um, so I have a little bit of brain damage, and it affects. Um, it doesn't affect the side of my brain that controls my speech or my thinking, but obviously it affects my motor, the side that controls my motor function and all those processes. So I've been in a chair for, well, they always knew I would probably get in a chair at some point, but I've been in a chair since I was 4 because for those of you who may be watching later, um CP does not always mean that you're going to be in a wheelchair for the rest of your life. I've known people who have um have CP and walk and drive and do all that stuff. Um, up until um, right before I left to go on a trip this summer, I was using a walker around the house and only using this hunk of junk um, at work or when we go out to like church or somewhere like that. But I decided that in order to make me more independent, I wanted to go to the chair full time. Not because I wanted to quit walking, but because I knew that in order to be the man God wants me to be and the man I want to be, I have to be independent. And the walker doesn't give me that sense of independence. So um fast forward to when I was about, I got saved when I was 8. So even before then, though, I felt God leading me to disability ministry. Um, I know that may sound a little weird because even saying it and hearing it, it sounds weird to me. How can I know what God wants me to do even before I know Him as my Lord and Savior? But over the years, so let me back up and explain how that piece ties in. When I was 7, uh, or 7, yeah, I had just turned 8 actually because camp was in June. So when I was 8, my family went to our first Johnny and Friends Retreat, which is the ministry that was started by Johnny Erickson Tata, the quadriplegic who paints and writes with her mouth. Um, Jonathan's heard me talk about her before because I actually served um, as a summer intern for that ministry um, from June to August of this year. So I met her when I was 8 because I had she decided to come to that retreat that year. Um, so from that summer on, I always knew that I wanted to do something um, in the ministry field. I wavered a couple times, like every teenager would. I thought I wanted to um, join the FBI and being like an analyst or something. Um, but this over the last 3 years and over the last 4, like I was saying earlier, um, I got pulled. God was pulling on me hard to stay focused on what I had originally said I was gonna do. So, 2 years ago, I went to um, I I was a 5th year senior because of surgeries and stuff like that that I had growing up. So I took a year off just to after I graduated high school just to get my head back on straight and all that stuff. And 2 years ago, I um, started school and I'm studying ministry leadership. I'm in my junior I'm in my junior year, but it's a 5-year degree program, so I'm not even halfway done yet. I'm a quarter of the way done, but it'll be halfway, or I'm almost halfway done credit hour wise. So, depending on how I want to stack up the rest of my time, uh, with classes and stuff like that. Um, Depends on when I'll get done. But um, I'm starting ministry leadership, which is a very general, uh, encompassing degree. But after that, I want to go into um, disability ministry full time and just show kids um, and families that even if you have a disability does not mean your life is completely useless. Um, in fact, on for one of my discussion boards this week for class, it was how can you minister to, how can you generate a belief and anything is possible uh, within the context of the people you minister to on a regular basis. Well, I tend to use myself in those situations, uh, just because, not because I want the pat on the back, but because I want them to be able to see that they that there is something out there for your disabled family member. So I can't. Let's see. So I used to play competitive sports, and I'm hoping once I'm out on my own to get competitive again. But that's one way I want to show people that just because you're not the Friday Night Lights starting quarterback um, doesn't mean you can't play sports. Because honestly, that is something that I've had to deal with over the last 10 years. Um, After years and years of my dad being one of my biggest supporters and being the person who drove me to practice for most of, or not most of, because I didn't really start playing competitively till he was deployed. Um, but when I was 7, I started playing sports and I picked up sled hockey. Um, and our practices were at midnight on Saturday nights because high school hockey is up north. It's like high school football is here. Um, and there wasn't a kids team that practiced um, at a time when I could practice. So I was on the adult team. I didn't officially play, but I was on the roster. Anything they did, anytime they did anything within driving distance, I did it with them. Um, so um, he drove me to all of those practices, but um, after one of his deployments, he came back changed, which we expected. We knew it was going to be different because he'd been on a ship for 2 years, patrolling the seas of Japan and all those different places. And me, my mom, and my sister had been back stateside, living in Birmingham, and I was playing sports and all that stuff. So, um, fast forward 3 more years, and I'm a teenager at this point, and I hear a conversation between my dad and one of his co-workers, um, that he is mad that, or not mad, um, but he's disappointed that he doesn't have the Friday night quarterback. That hit me like a knife. Uh, that was the ton of bricks. The knife was about 6 months later when I heard him and my mom arguing about 2 a.m. one morning, and he's yelling at my mom, going, "I never asked for any of this." Well, the any of this implied me. So my dad went from my biggest backer to my biggest critic, it felt like. So that has played a big part in what I do now because I want to show, especially the dads of disabled kids, that just because they're not the Friday night quarterback doesn't mean that they don't have potential to do something else. I mean, Jonathan, you know how many sports I play. We talk about it. Um, I've done sled hockey. I've done wheelchair basketball. I've done track and field. I've done road races. So there's tons of potential to do sports. You just have to find it. And you'll get this because of what else has been going on in the class group chat today. I wish somebody would adapt a Spartan race because honestly, that's one thing I want to do, but can't do it the way it's set up right now just because uh, the courses they use aren't set up for wheelchairs, which is completely fine. I mean, I'm not saying adapt it, but I'm saying if they ever do, I will be the first one in line. So, yeah, I use a bunch of sports and a bunch of other stuff that I do to hopefully bring glory to God. I know I don't always, but that's that's how it rolls. Sometimes we screw up. But one of my favorite quotes is from Vince Lombardi, who coached in the first Super Bowl. And his quote sat up above my desk for a long time, and the quote was, "It's not whether life knocks you down; it's whether you get back up." So yeah, life knocks me down almost every single day, but it's my choice whether I get back up or not. So that's what I try to tell other people. And just throwing my views out there on you doing a Spartan race, Jonathan, I think you should. Okay. Jonathan just sent me something else, and it says, "First off, thank you so much for sharing this with me. As a nursing student, I have seen so many people faced with adversity, whether it be a disability, a chronic illness, or terminal condition. And it is amazing to see how God has worked in their life to use that for His glory. And I see that in you, man. I knew from the moment I met you that you have a heart for ministry. God's got plans for you, and I can't wait to see what they are. I have enjoyed talking with you, but I've got some stuff to work on for school, so I'll catch you later. God bless you, man. Well, no problem, Jonathan. This is why. That's why I do this. This is why Fireside Fridays is going to become a thing. So I can make people aware and make them aware of the struggles and the stuff that people with disabilities go through. And let me say that my experience is not going to be what everybody goes through. It's just a part. But if I can get it out there that we have voices, then others will ask those other people for their experiences. So, yeah, I are you still on here? I'm showing one viewer still. Let's see. Um, okay. Let me explain to everybody else a comment I made a second ago. Um, we have a group chat with all our Sunday school members, and that's where we plan like going out to lunch and stuff. And our Sunday school, one of our Sunday school leads, runs Spartan races, and there's one up in at Fort Benning in April. So Jonathan kind of got voluntold as the military circles say by one of our other classmates. So um, the rest of the day, um, a couple of us others were like, Jonathan, you need to do this whether you want to or not. So he was just telling me that he had decided to do it. So kudos to you, man. Um, like I said, I've done road races, and even if you don't want to do it, it'll end up being one of the most rewarding experiences of your life. Just as Nathan or Q or I think Gavin run a few. So yeah, we're all behind you. And like I said, I wish I was gonna be able to run with you guys, but maybe one of these days somebody will get the memo that they need to adapt one of these things. I'm buzzing. Oh, apparently he hadn't told Harrison Strickland yet. So, sorry if I let the cat out of the bag. So, but if you didn't want the cat out of the bag, you shouldn't have told me what you were up to. So, well, Jonathan has stepped away, so I am going to end this week's Fireside Friday right here because I have to get ready for um, an early morning tomorrow, and I just want to chill out for a little while before I have to go do some other things to get ready for that. So I will see you guys next Friday. Um, Maybe I haven't decided if I'm gonna do one for Black Friday yet or not. Um, I might, but I'm going to also pose that question to you. Um, do you guys want a Fireside Friday on Black Friday? Leave your response in the comment section, along with other questions that I can answer. Other video topics you want me to cover. Um, and then I will see what I can do. So until next time, I will see you guys later.